Welcome everybody back inside the broadcast booth here at O'Keefe Fields. Ethan Moss alongside Joseph Swanson as we get set here for Game 4 between SUNY Poly and Thomas College. SUNY Poly getting the number 2 seed, gets the bye as well, and facing Thomas College, the winner of the game against University of Maine at Farmington earlier today. That was a great contest, and we're expecting another good contest later or here today in this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ethan. You got two evenly matched teams, both met last year in the North Atlantic Conference Championship Series. Thomas coming away with an 18-0 game, but different Poly team coming back this year. You got Trinity Citrielli, one of the top pitchers in the NAC right now. I believe comes in 11-0 on the season in conference. She'll go up against the freshman in Addie Boyce. So good matchup there, senior versus freshman. But Thomas played once already today, so a little momentum going. And then, of course, Poly, fourth game of the day, they've sat. So see if that's maybe a factor into this one. But Thomas came away with game 2 victory over Farmington. Drew a blank there for a second. But as the start lineups are getting announced in the background here. But two good games. As you mentioned, Poly, the number 2 seed in the North Atlantic Conference right now. Thomas came in as the number 6 seed. So Thomas looking to play upset again. They already upset the number 4 seed, trying to upset the number 2 seed here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how Boyce does in the circle. It's going to be a tougher lineup to get through with Poly, especially the big piece there in Kimberly Birmingham, who is second in the nation with a .568 batting average, behind Claire Rettler of Carthage with a .569. She's first in on-base percentage. .657 is the mark for Birmingham that leads Division III.
And then you'd have to guess after that last game, Kenzie Dorr probably closing in on her, came in at .527, 3 for 4 afternoons. So good hitters here in the North Atlantic Conference right now as warm-ups are getting going in the background here. Trinity Citrielli, we'll talk about her a little bit, comes in, 2-time NAC Pitcher of the Week, 107 innings pitched, 1.50 ERA, whip under 1. That's something that pops out off the stat. Anytime you can come in with a whip under 1 means you're allowing less than one runner on base per inning. So you're going to give yourself a chance. And then, of course, the 188 strikeouts, almost 2 per inning is something that jumps out off a stat sheet. So 19 games started, only 42 walks.
Yeah, for her, she's leading the NAC as well in strikeouts, and like you're saying, controls the zone well, only those 42 walks. That's a great ratio to have. 188 to 42 is that ratio, and then 19 games started for her. She's 14-4 in that stretch, so has to deal with Thomas, which has a little bit more of a lineup that's firing on all cylinders after that first game, able to plate 12 runs off of Mac Bergen, and later on a reliever for the Beavers. It's, a lineup that's swinging the bat well, and that's what you need to do heading into these tournaments is you need to swing the bat well and just pitch in those situational kind of settings, and that's how you succeed.
I would agree with you as we're going to get things started here. Layla Pickering will get things going here, freshman out of Blue Hill, Maine. She'll lead off for Thomas here, top half of the first inning. She'll be the first one to step in against Trinity Citrielli. I think another thing that jumps out off the stat sheet when you look at Citrielli, she's only 5'3" and 188 strikeouts. She gets everything out of that frame. So we're almost underway here. Game 4, of the North Atlantic Conference Softball Championship. Poly versus Thomas. First pitch taken for a ball on the inside corner.
It's going to be important for Thomas to do the same sort of thing, get out early, get on top of Citrielli early, and plate those runs, and I'll allow Boyce to work with a little bit of a lead or as best as they can give her.
As that one's going to be swung through and missed. Ewan's account now 1-1. Thomas got things going back in game 1 in the bottom half, or the top half of the first. A little speed at the top of the lineup in Pickering. That one's going to be taken for a ball. Pickering and Knight, as I was saying, and then Maddie Rock, something that doesn't jump out off the stat sheet, came in hitting .267 into today. But as I talked about back in game 2, one of the top statistical hitters probably the last 5 years in the North Atlantic Conference, as that one's going to be swung through and missed, even in the count at 2-2. 3-hole hitter, had 3 RBIs back in the opener. So if she gets going, if you're Coach Jen Plord, that's a big ask, a big thing to have if your 3 and 4 hitters can start hitting the softball.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to get that production out of the middle part of the order, which she got back in their first contest.
As that's going to be swung on and missed. First out of the inning. Pickering will go down via the strikeout. That brings up Leah Knight.
But you also got to get those hits from where you don't expect it in the order, out of the 8-9 spot leadoff. Again, just those key situational kind of hitting, those things that Husson, we've seen them dominate and a lot of those situational kind of things throughout the year, and that's why they're playing so well. Now, how do you translate that? How do you pick up on that as an opposing team and carry that into the tournament?
As the first pitch is swung through, strike 1. Knight, a big factor back in game 1. Came around to score 3 runs. As she takes this one off the outside corner for a ball. So one's on the board, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike, as that one's going to be taken for strike 2.
Knight, the kind of player that can get on base, work some havoc in the base pass.
12 walks, 5 stolen bases on the season. As that's going to be swung through, strike 3. So the first 2 Terriers go down via the punch-out. As that brings up the dangerous 3-hole hitter in Maddie Rock, graduate student out of Bridgeton, Maine. She'll step in now, 2 outs in the inning. So first pitch offering here, taken off the outside corner. As the Husson softball team has come in to sit down in front of us, they'll play the winner of this game at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Loser will play game 2 tomorrow morning. As that's going to be taken for a called strike on the inside corner.
You know, Rock plays really close to the plate. We saw her just get back out of the way of that pitch. And, you know, we saw with the Eagles crowding the plate in the previous game, drawing a couple of base runners because of that. And the zone been pretty tight from all umpires all around.
Check swing, called strike 2.
So we'll see how that plays here in game 4.
So 1-2 offering here from Citratelli, excuse me. Swung through and missed. So Citratelli retires the side in order via the punch-out. When we come back, we'll have 1, 2, 3 due up for the Wildcats in the bottom of the first inning. You're watching North Atlantic Conference Softball Championship on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. So we'll head back now, bottom of the first inning. Ava Farragon, the sophomore, will lead things off here. 9 of 9 on stolen bases, Ethan. Comes in .441 average on the year. So dangerous hitter at the top of the order here for the Wildcats. As that one's going to miss up in the zone. She'll face the freshman Addie Boyce. Boyce just over a 4 ERA on the year. 3-8, 68 innings pitched, 35 strikeouts. As that one runs off the outside corner of the plate, runs the count now to 2-0.
We'll see a lot of hitters in this Poly lineup that have a high average, and that contributes to a team average of 387, which is among the leaders in D3.
That's going to be taken for a called strike. Boyce out of Bar Harbor, Maine, Mount Desert Island, high school native. I can officially call myself an alumni.
Just recently, of course.
A few years back, correction. As that one's going to miss off the outside corner. 3-1 hitters count here to the sophomore. Boyce looks for the sign. Winds and delivers. Popped up. Out to right field. Right fielder calls everyone off there. As that was Brooklyn Federico for the first out. So that will bring up the two-hole hitter now. And SUNY Poly's Olivia Turk. Turk, 436 average on the year. 25 RBIs, 7 doubles, 8 triples. So she's a threat to stretch a ball in the gap into extra bases as that first pitch runs up and away.
It's going to be important for the Terriers to keep on top of defense right there. It was a nice play out and right from Federico. The high average, of course, means a lot of balls in play off of the bats of this Poly lineup. So it's how do you handle them and how do you work around that traffic is the key for both Boyce and the rest of the Terriers today.
I would agree with you, as that one's fouled back and out of play. Putting the ball in play puts constant pressure on the defense to make plays. So as a coach, that's what you want. You want your team striking out, as that one's going to be taken for a called strike. So Boyce ahead in the count here, 1-2. And as we saw, Thomas back in the first game made the fewest errors, were able to come away with the win. So errors can be a factor. Sometimes you can avoid them, as that one's going to be taken for a called strike 3. Second out now here in the bottom of the first inning. So that brings up Kimberly Birmingham, as you mentioned in the pregame, one of the most dangerous hitters in the country, 571 average, 37 RBIs, 15 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run as she fouls the first pitch back and into the bleachers. 18 walks as well, so someone that does see the ball well.
Yeah, it's just a all-around fantastic hitter in this lineup that's just a gift to pencil in, really. Anytime you can see the ball, have that combination, have the power as well as the average, it's a huge offensive kind of piece. And anywhere that you can slide her on the infield, she fits as well.
As that one misses out and away, senior out of Camden, New York. Pretty much primarily a New York team. I think everybody on the roster from the state of New York. As that one's going to miss in the dirt, runs the count to 2-1. Versus you look over at Thomas, pretty much from all over. Majority of the roster from Maine, several from New Hampshire, a couple from Vermont, Maryland, and New York. So a 2-1 delivery here from Boyce. Wines popped up out into right field. Federico, though, not able to grab that one as it's going to get down for a 2-out single. It brings up the 4-hole hitter here, and Joy Stevens. Stevens, another one with one of those high averages you talked about, 451, 26 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 2 triples.
You can also get it done in the circle for the Wildcats. Might be seeing her later on as this tournament goes on.
As that one's going to be lined through the left side, out of the left field, bobbled by the left fielder. But Birmingham's going to elect to stay at second base. So Poly, you got something brewing here, bottom half of the first inning. 2 outs, runners on first and second. 5-hole hitter here in Amy DeSena. 323 average on the year, 15 RBIs, 7 doubles, 4 triples. Doesn't strike out much, only 9 Ks. So as you talked about, Poly's a team that puts the ball in play. See if they can keep things going here. Back-to-back hits. That one's going to be taken low, down and out of the zone. So 1-0 offering here from Boyce. trying to get out of this inning. Taken for a called strike, evens the count at 1-1. If you're Boyce here as a freshman, back-to-back hits don't hurt you. 2 outs in the inning. Ground ball, fly out, you can get out of this. Turn the lineup card over, get your offense back to the plate. So, big situation here from the freshman early on in this one. As that one's going to be chopped down the third baseline, but foul. So, Boyce jumps ahead in the count here, 1-2.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to trust your defense. That's going to be the biggest part of her success today. See how she does is working with that traffic. We know there's going to be traffic just based on all these numbers from the Wildcats. We're seeing it early on. We know there's going to be traffic. How do you bounce back from it?
So 1-2 offering here from the freshman. Change up, check swing, foul ball back into the screen.
If you can get that strikeout pitch working as well, that's going to be a huge help to that defense. Like you're saying, a lot of pressure on them. They've been up to the challenge so far in the tournament, but a much tougher team they run into in their second game.
We'll replay the 1-2 offering on its way. Swung on, popped up, out into center field. That could be trouble. But Ferrone able to charge in, squeezes that one for the final out. SUNY Poly puts 2 runners on via the hit. Back-to-back here in the bottom of the first inning. Terriers able to escape the damage. We'll head to the top of the second inning, tied 0-0 when we return. So we head back here to the top of the second inning. 4-hole hitter and Megan Oberholzer at the plate. Came into the day, .380 average on the season. 2 hits back in game 1, 2 RBIs as well. So she's swinging a hot bat on the day. Comes in here in a leadoff spot, hoping to get on base to start the second inning. That one's going to be taken for a called strike. Looked like it was at the belt, right on the outside corner. So Citratelli not wasting any time, working ahead in counts. Retired the side via the punch out if you're turning in for the first time back in the first inning. As that one's going to be taken for a called strike as well. So Oberholzer down in the count here, 0-2.
Yeah.
Citratelli, 191 strikeouts now on the year.
Critelli's been getting on top of batters a lot this year, and so far in this contest, on top of every single batter, 0-2.
Critelli, good call there. That one's fouled back into the screen, so Oberholzer hanging tough. Oberholzer got the start for the Terriers back in game 1 in the circle. Missed 50 days on the circle due to an injury. Glad to see her back in the lineup for the Terriers. She was able to bat during that stretch, but able to get the win back in game 1, so that's a big piece for the Terriers here in this tournament. That one's going to be swung through and missed. So the first 4 Terriers go down via the punch-out. So that will bring up the designated player now, and Jenny Witten, first baseman back in game 1. She'll step in to just over a .220 average on the year. Played a big part back in game 1, 2 hits. So she'll step in here to face Critelli. That one's going to land just short of the plate. Looks like about a 42-footer for ball 1.
Yeah, when Critelli's been missing, it's been missing low or high. There hasn't been much that's gone wide. So she's dialed in on that zone, at least horizontally, getting there vertically.
As the 1-0 offering swung through and missed. As a pitcher, you don't want to miss too much over the plate. So as a coach, especially for Julie Wanner, what you want to see out of your senior here, giving you a chance. 1-1 delivery. Popped up out into left field. Farragon squeezes that for the second out, excuse me. So that will bring up the third baseman, freshman Emily Rock. Came into today hitting just under 200 on the season. Couple big defensive plays back in game one for the freshman at third base, especially late in the game. That's going to be swung through and missed. 0-1. So the 0-1 delivery here from the senior. Misses up in the zone just above the belt. Good spot to miss, though, there.
Yeah, not often does she miss there, and when she does, it's always on a count like this where it's more of a waste pitch and trying to get it chased up in the zone. Hasn't been successful so far, but again, the game will wear on. We'll see.
As that one's going to be swung through and missed. Runs the count out of 1-2.
Of course, there's a pitch up in the zone.
So Critelli here. Chance to retire the Terriers inside the first 2 innings here. 1-2 delivery on the way. As that one sails just outside. First time probably through the first 2 innings. She really hasn't come near the strike zone. I guess probably had a misgrip on the ball there. Evens the count here at 2-2. So 2's on the board, 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs here. Top of the second inning. As that one's just going to miss off the outside corner there. Looked good from our vantage point. Home plate umpire saying it was off the corner. Good eye there from the freshman Emily Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Working a good count here. 3-2. It's the first full count we've seen out of Critelli.
So see how the senior battles back here. Full count delivery. Swung through and missed. 5th strikeout of the game for the senior. She sets the Terriers down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning, tied 0-0 when we return. So we head to the bottom of the second inning. Jaden Childers to lead things off here for SUNY Poly. Another average over 400 on the year. 4 doubles, 6 triples, 2 home runs. So a dangerous hitter here as she takes the first one low and out of the zone.
It's also crazy to say this, but with a 703 slugging percentage, she's 3rd on the team. So 4 doubles, 6 triples, 2 home runs for the junior.
As that's going to be taken for a call strike. Evens the count here at 1-1. So scoreless through 1 inning, full inning. Boyce looking to set Poly down in order. Poly able to put 2 runners on in the first inning. Unable to push anything across as that one misses down in the zone. 6, 7, 8 expected to bat here for the Wildcats in the bottom half of the inning. Winds and delivers. Swung on, popped up, out into left field. Pickering, call everybody off, and she'll squeeze that for the first out. So that will bring up Kelly Powell, sophomore. Right fielder. She'll face Boyce now with 1 out in the inning. Powell comes in hitting just over 260 on the year. 6 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. And she'll take the first pitch off the plate for a ball. Caitlin Finley due up next. Freshman out of Camden, New York. 1-0 offering. That one runs off the plate as well. So 2-0 here. If your boys really want to come back here, challenge the 7-hole hitter. That one's going to be swung on, popped up out into center field. Verone calls everybody off for the second out. So good defensively outfield-wise for the Terriers so far in this one, as that brings up Finley, as we talked about. 306 average on the year, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. So another power bat down in the bottom of the order. Not a bad option to have. 2 home runs hitting out of the 8 slot. Boyce winds and delivers, taken for a called strike.
Yeah, if I'm Boyce, I'd be going after a lot of these batters. Most of the contact that I've gotten has been popped up or been foul. So I think going after him again, trusting that defense, could be something that helps him or helps her out.
As that one's ripped over to third, fielded by Emily Rock. She fires over for the third out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Wildcats in the bottom of the second inning. Terriers come to the plate in the top half of the third when we return. So welcome back. Junior Kayla Duhamey to lead things off here for the Terriers. She'll step in for the first time to face Critelli. Critelli, 5 strikeouts so far through the first 2 innings.
Yeah, she's working really well. We saw Masterson for the Eagles get out to that same pace and then kind of lost a little bit of that red-hot touch, we'll say. We'll see what Critelli does as this game drags on and this lineup gets deeper.
Duhamey squares around, bunts. Critelli fields it, fires over to first. Second baseman Birmingham covering for the first out. Good defensive play there from the Wildcats. So that will bring up the right fielder now, Brooklyn Federico, freshman out of Monmouth, Maine. Comes in hitting over just over 200 on the year. Critelli winds and delivers. Taken for a call strike. As you can potentially hear them talking about in the background. Maybe trying to lay down the bunt to break up the no-hitter. A little too early in this one to try to really worry about that. Probably trying to bunt to get on base as Federico squares around here. Hopefully trying to catch the Wildcats maybe out of defensive positioning there.
Yeah, I think that might be the game plan is similar to Husson's, and that's get on the base pass and kind of wreak as much havoc as you can, based off of that. So getting those runners on, being able to steal a bag, throw some funky running out there.
As the 0-2 sails outside, 1-2 now. Abby Ferrone, the center fielder, on deck. She's been busy early in this one. Sophomore out of Sandown, New Hampshire. 1-2 offering from the senior Critelli here. Swung on, fouled back straight into the screen. So the freshman Federico hanging tough.
Well, after that first inning, it's been pretty apparent that the Terriers have been able to take Critelli a little bit deeper into those counts, even if it's just to a 1-2, 2-2, fouling off a couple. Still getting that pitch count up and still making her work for these outs.
As that one misses down in the zone, evens the count 2-2. So big pitch here for Critelli. Don't want to fall back, full count here. 2-2 offering on the way. Swung on, popped up on the left side of the infield. Shortstop DeSena calls everybody off for the second out. So that will bring up Ferrone. Sophomore, as I mentioned, out of Sandown, New Hampshire. Comes in hitting just under 200 on the season. Has been a defensive factor in the game earlier today, game 2 of the morning, and then so far a couple plays out in center field in this one as she takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Yeah, Ferrone hasn't quite had the swing this year there for the average, but able to get on base at a pretty decent clip. 288 her on base percentage by way of 9 walks.
Someone looks like she works the count as that one's going to miss down in the dirt. 1-1.
Yeah, the ability to work the count, even if it doesn't show up in terms of hits, is super important in any batting order to be able to, again, stretch that pitch count out, make that pitcher work for those outs.
As that one's going to be swung on, fouled back behind the press box. Riley Fortin in the on-deck circle. She'll bat. If Ferrone can extend the inning here, 2 outs, 1-2 offering on the way from Critelli. Runs off the outside part of the plate. Looked like they were trying to get Ferrone to chase there. Evens the count here at 2. So Critelli will get the sign. Winds and delivers 2-2 offering. Swung on, popped up on the left side. Called off by DeSena. She'll squeeze that for the third out. So scoreless after 2 1/3 or 2 1/2. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. Poly expected 9-1-2 due up when we return. So Taylor Hunter to lead things off here for the Wildcats to begin the bottom half of the third. Senior, 372 average on the year, 11 doubles. Power bat out of the 9 slot here. She'll face Boyce back out for her third inning of work. Taken for a called strike. Interesting grip on the bat here for Hunter as she spreads both hands. Not typically something you see out of hitters nowadays.
Yeah, definitely not, and it benefits her as well. She likes to jump on that first couple pitches. Only 4 walks, 4 strikeouts for her.
As that one's going to hit her in the left elbow. She'll jog down to first with a leadoff hit by pitch That will bring us back to the top of the order. Ava Farragon steps back in. As we mentioned, 441 average on the year. Looks like they're going to appeal this one. Home plate umpire is going to ask the two field umpires if she made an attempt to get out of the way of that one. I don't think it's going to matter in this situation.
Yeah, I think it would have hit her anyway. That part of the
As it
zone.
was in the box, correct? Yep.
Yeah. In the batter's box, doesn't really matter.
So Farragon 0 for 1. She'll step in here for her second plate of appearance of the day. Your boys settle down here, get a ground ball out, maybe even induce a ground ball double play. Winds and delivers. Pulls back the bunt, fire down to first, not in time though. As Knight, the second baseman, was covering. Looked like they tried a little trick play there as Oberholzer was charging on the bunt. They tried to slip Knight in behind to see if they could catch Hunter napping.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. Again, just try to get that gamesmanship in there as much as you can.
So 1-0 offering. Bunt. Looked like they're going to say she offered 1-1. Corner infielders Oberholzer and Rock both charging on that. We've seen it happen a few times as of late where corner infielders charging hard enough are able to turn around and get the lead runner at second. So 1-1 offering on the way. Swings away, chopper over to third, but that's going to land just left side of the bag for a foul.
Yeah, that one was close. You probably want that one back just a few inches to the right. Sending something down the line like that, that moves Hunter over to at least second, if not third. And you're pulling up into first or second.
So we will have the 1-2 offering. Like a changeup, misses up in the zone. 2-2.
Just came out of the hands a little early, wanted that down in the zone.
So 2-2 offering, no outs here in the bottom of the third. Freshman winds and delivers, swung on, fouled off down the left field line. Looked like Farragon was all over that one. Just a little bit early.
I wouldn't go back to the outside part of the plate here. Come inside with a nice breaking ball. Look to brush Farragon back off the plate.
So we'll replay the 2-2 offering. Outside, fouled back and out of play. So Farragon hanging tough here, even in the count 2-2. Got a pitch to Waste, see if Boyce maybe elects to throw one out of the zone here, maybe trying to get Farragon to chase, being a little over-aggressive here. Line to third. They're going to say that hit off of Rock's glove, rolls down the left field line. Runners on first and second, back-to-back hits here to begin the bottom of the third inning. As that brings up the center fielder, Olivia Turk. Turk 0 for 1 on the day. She'll step in now for the second time to face Boyce. RBI situation. 25 RBIs on the year, 436 average. Chance to put her team in the lead. And Zethan, I'll tell you this, one run may be the difference in this game.
Yeah, the way this one's going, the way both pitchers so far have been performing in the circle, it's going to be one of those ones where you try to push a run across, and that might just be the one that does it.
Where the way Critelli has pitched through the first 3 innings, one run may be all the support she needs. As that one was taken for a called strike, nearly got away, allowing the runners to advance, but instead they stay at first and second, as this one's ripped to third. Second baseman's not covering, fired from Rock there, trying to get Hunter for the double play, but gets away. Good backup out there, though, by Federico. Held Hunter at second base, so nobody hurt there. 1 out now on the board. Runners still on first and second with the 3-hole hitter in Kimberly Birmingham. So arguably most dangerous hitter in the Poly lineup up now with runners on first and second.
Yeah, a huge spot for Boyce to try to work out of, and now you just got a little bit of confidence after a nice snag at the hot corner by Emily Roberts.
As that one's going to be crushed out to left center, going to get down over the fence. 3-run shot for Kimberly Birmingham's second home run of the year. Poly's going to take a 3-0 lead on the 3 RBI, 3-run shot from the senior. I thought when that left the bat, maybe it was going to hit off the base of the fence, but stayed up in the jet stream and carried out over the left center field fence.
Yeah, the wind, a little bit of a breeze out towards left center / right center. It's blowing a little bit both ways. That one carried, and a little bit of a wall scraper aided by Mother Nature. But either way, 3 runs.
So that brings up the 4-hole hitter now in Joy Stevens. She'll step in now. 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 out in the inning. Singled back in the 1st inning. As she chops this one foul down the right field line. So if your boys really need to bounce back here, get the final 2 outs, hopefully your offense can get going in the top half of the 4th inning. As that one's going to miss down in the zone. Evens the count at 1-1. So as we talked about, Birmingham, arguably the most dangerous hitter in the order. She comes through clutch for her team.
Yeah, just her 2nd home run of the season, too, so it's not all power for Birmingham. It's a lot of contact finding the holes. Does have those 15 doubles to go along with that high average.
It's one that sprays the ball in the gaps as that one was swung through and missed for the 2nd strike. 1-2 offering on the way here. Like a rise ball up and away. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2-2 delivery here from the freshman boys. Swung through and missed. Strike 3. Gets away from Duhamey. Fires down to first, though, to Oberholzer for the 2nd out. So good job there by the junior catcher to keep her composure. Very easy there to
kind of lose track of where
lose
the ball
track of the ball or self-doubt yourself. And as that one got away.
Yeah, you just try to get ahead of yourself. Sometimes you start thinking about the throw before you start thinking about getting the ball.
As it looks like they're going to appeal here, see whether or not Oberholzer was on the right side of the bag. I'm wondering what the coach for SUNY Poly was questioning here. It looked like she was entitled to the orange part of the base there as the ball carried up the right side of the backstop. So that will bring up the shortstop now, Amy DeSena. DeSena 0 for 1 on the day. She'll step in now for the 2nd time against Boyce. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Winds and delivers, swung on, hit out to shortstop. That's going to get past the diving rock into left field for a 2-out single. So DeSena does her job. Starts the inning over with 2 outs.
Well, a great effort from Maddie Rock to try to get to that one just out of the reach. And again, that feels good to a certain degree. You give up a hit, and that doesn't feel good, but it feels good that your defense is willing to get down and get dirty to try to get those softballs and make that play.
So that brings up the catcher now, Jaden Childers. Childers 0 for 1 on the afternoon. She swings on this, hit out to Rock. Rock will fire across the diamond to Oberholzer for the 3rd out. But not before SUNY Poly scores 3 runs in the bottom half of the inning. They take a 3-0 advantage. We'll head to the top half of the 4th when we return. Heading to the top half of the fourth inning. Top of the order due up here for the Terriers. Layla Pickering 0 for 1 on the game. Went down via the punch out back in the first inning. She'll step in now for the second time. She'll face Critelli.
Terriers down in order so far, trying to break that up on the second time through. But Critelli pitching very, very well.
As that one sails up and out of the zone. 1-0. Critelli 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. Last inning was the first inning she didn't send anybody down via the punch out. So Thomas looking to put the ball in play here in the top half of the fourth, as that one's going to be fouled back and out of play. Evens the count here at 1-1. So 1-1 delivery here. Swung through and missed. Critelli ahead in the count here, 1-2.
That's what she's been doing all day, getting on top of the batters and then getting that strikeout pitch working. See how the top of the order tries to work into these counts.
See if she elects maybe to waste a pitch here, trying to get Pickering to offer at it. As she does, looks like rise ball up and out of the zone. A little too far out of the zone there to entice Pickering. But either way, count now 2-2. Critelli looking for her 6th punch out of the day. Isn't allowed a hit through the first 3 innings. And that's going to be swung on, popped back behind the press box. So Pickering hanging here, even in the count 2-2.
Yeah, again, working those counts, it's going to be important for the Terriers, even if it doesn't help them out now. It'll help them out in the next game, seeing those pitchers more, again, a better feel for the zone.
So 2-2 offering here from the senior. Misses down below the knees. Good pitch, though, there. Even better hold from Pickering. Runs the count now to full.
Yeah, it's a really good pitch. It's really tempting to try to swing at, especially if you're a low ball hitter.
As they say in MLB The Show, that would be a couple plus pitch vision points. As she swings onto this one, lines out to center field. Good job, though, there by Turk. Read that one off the bat for the first out. When that came off the bat, thought it might have had a chance down in the left center field gap. Managed to hang up, shade it a little bit more towards center field, and Turk was able to run it down.
Yeah, Turk's gotten a great beat on all of the ones that have been hit towards her direction. Playing a great defensive center field for Coach Wenner.
So that brings up the second baseman now, Leah Knight, 0 for 1, struck out back in the first inning. So she'll take this one for a called strike. So if you're Coach Plord, getting closer, able to put the ball in play now. That's a hard hit ball. Progress, not going down via the strikeout. Not over yet. You pick up a run here and there, chip away at the 3-0 lead. Before you know it, you're back in this.
Yeah, and they had a couple explosive innings later on in that first contest, so I wouldn't hold it or have it against them to try and make some noise in the 5th, 6th, should we get there, and then later on into the 7th. So they can definitely make noise as this game wears on. Just a matter of seeing enough of Critelli to get there.
0-2 offering from Critelli, swung on for strike 3, 6th punch out of the day for the senior. So that will bring up the graduate student, Maddie Rock, 0 for 1, struck out back in the first inning. So Critelli trying to set the Terriers down in order here to begin the 4th. Taking for a called strike on the outside corner. Correction, looks like they're going to say that was off the corner, ball 1. So 1-0 offering here to Rock. Swung through and missed. 1-1.
Saw Ronk get a hold of a couple of balls back in the first game. Squared him up well. Saw it well the first game. This one Still having a hard time reading it out of the hands of Critelli.
1-1 swung on, fouled back behind the press box. Count now here 1-2. So 1-2 offering from Critelli on its way. Winds and delivers, swung through, strike 3. Rock goes down for the final out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Critelli 7 strikeouts now through 4 no-hit innings. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Poly leading Thomas 3-0 when we return. So we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Kelly Powell to lead things off here for the Wildcats. Right fielder, sophomore out of Clifton Park, New York. She'll face Boyce back out for her 4th inning of work. First pitch down in the zone, 1-0.
For Boyce now, you're working down 3. Back for a fresh inning. How do you kind of change the script here? And that's get on top of those batters. Again, trust that defense and get those outs as quickly as possible. Just go right after them.
As that one misses down in the count, or down in the zone, excuse me, as well, 2-0. Seven, 8, 9 expected to bat here. As that one's fouled back and out of play, 2-1. So a 2-1 offering here from the freshman. Lands about 5 feet in front of the plate. 3-1 now. Hitters count here for Powell. Three-one offering. Swung on, popped up, back behind the plate. It's going to stay in play, but it's going to hit off the net. Duhamie was able to catch it, but net is going to cause it to be a foul ball first. So full count here to the 7-hole hitter in Powell. 0 for 1 on the day.
The wind wasn't blowing. That may have not hit the net.
Matter of inches there from being an out. And that's going to be swung on, hit out to center field. Ferrone, though, good read off the bat, was able to pull that in for the first out.
Both these center fielders have.
Both center fielders, excellent ball reading abilities off the bat. Something you don't see oftentimes. Got to applaud the effort of able to track down balls in the gap. So that will bring up Caitlin Findley. 0 for 1, third baseman. Steps in for her second plate appearance of the day. Popped up right side of the diamond. Called off by the second baseman, Knight. She's going to trip over the outfield lip. That's going to pop out of her glove, so that will go down as an E4. Brings up Taylor Hunter now for her second plate appearance. Hunter 0 for 1 came around to score the first run of the game. So she steps in now. Correction, Hunter 0 for 0 on the day. She steps in now for her first official plate appearance, hit by a pitch back in the third inning. Squares around a bunt, pulls it back. Runner from first took off as the throw gets out into right field, but nobody's going to advance. Good play there by Federico to be backing up as they try to back pick there on Powell.
There's been a few different plays where I've noticed there's always been great backup from around the field, whether it was that one that went off the glove of Emily Rock where Maddie Rock and then the left fielder Pickering went over to pick it up. That prevented Hunter from advancing to third on that play a couple of innings ago. So, again, that defense is there. It's a really well-coached team.
As 1-0 offering runs up and out of the zone, 2-0 here. See if Hunter squares around a bunt here. Sacrifice opportunity does, as that one's going to miss up and out of the zone, 3-0. So SUNY Poly elected to try to play some small ball here at the bottom of the fourth inning, realizing runs are tough to come by. The more you can get, the better off you are. As that one misses off the plate. Draws the 4-pitch walk. Brings us back to the top of the order. Dangerous Ava Farragon at the plate, 1 for 2 with a run. Came around to score on the 3-run home run from Birmingham. She steps in now, RBI situation with the runners on first and second. Boyce winds and delivers, taken for a called strike. Have to guess maybe Thomas was trying to pitch around the bunt situation and that opting to give up the walk to try to avoid the bunt. As this one's crushed out into left field. However, Pickering will be there for the second out. Good job there by Boyce. So that will bring up the center fielder now, Olivia Turk. Turk 0 for 2 on the day. 1 strikeout, steps in now for the third time to face Boyce. 2 outs in the inning, runners on first and second. SUNY Poly, you'd love to get something out of your 2-hole hitter here with a runner on second. Trying to open up a 4-0 advantage. As that one's going to run off the outside corner.
Yeah, and on the other side of the scorecard for Boyce, if she gets out of this inning after getting that traffic on the base pass to start it off, able to work around it. Now with 2 down, a chance to do that without allowing a run.
Winds and delivers. Called strike. Count even now at 1-1. 2 outs here in the inning. Thomas, as you mentioned, would really love to avoid allowing any runs to score, as that one's going to be fouled down the right field line. It will land in play. But unable to get there was Federico. She would have had to have gone a long ways for that one. So count now here at 1-2. So Boyce potentially 1 strike away from getting out of a jam here in the bottom half of the fourth. Change up, misses up and out of the zone, 2-2. Hasn't really been able to locate that changeup early in this one. Not quite enticing the hitters as it's come out slow of the hand but missed high. So 2-2 offering here. Swung on, fouled back behind us. Count will remain at 2-2. So Poly looking to try to extend the inning here. 2 outs. 2-2 offering on its way. Swung on, hit down the right field line. Going to land in front of Federico. 1 run will score. Finley will round third. She'll cross for the 4th run. RBI single there from the 2-hole hitter in Turk. As we talked about, your Coach Wanner there, that's what you want to see out of your 3-hole hitter. So that will bring up the dangerous Kimberly Birmingham. She supplied the damage so far in this one. 3-run shot back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. She'll step in now looking for her 3rd hit of the game. 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. As that one's going to miss in the dirt. Good stop there by Duhamie. Keeps the runners at first and second.
We'll see what she can do in this situation. Again, with 2 down, How does Boyce attack the dangerous Birmingham? Looks to be pitching around at the moment.
As that one's going to miss outside as well, 2-0.
Can't say I blame her, though. After giving up a 3-run shot in the last inning, I wouldn't want to go right back to the same batter and keep attacking them.
So 2-0 offering here. Misses outside, 3-0 now. Have to guess maybe they're trying to pitch around Birmingham, electing to face Stevens. Stevens 1 for 2 on the day, struck out last time up. As that one will be taken for a called strike, 3-1 now. So obvious hitters account here for Birmingham. NAC Player of the Week earlier this season. Takes ball 4. That will load the bases for Joy Stevens. As I mentioned, 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout.
It is hard to think only one Player of the Week for Birmingham, but it really just is a matter of not playing the level of opponents that other players in the NAC are playing and performing at a very similar level in those stretches. So that's why, but it is still somewhat shocking to see for somebody who's hitting over 550 on the year.
Yeah, and you can come back to with singles versus doubles, some other hitters in the league, a few more home runs. Kenzie Dorr, 3-time Player of the Week, does have 6 home runs on the year, so not necessarily that she hasn't had the numbers. Maybe somebody else has, as that one's going to be chopped back to Boyce. She'll fire onto first for the final out. So the decision to pitch around Birmingham pays off as they're able to get Stevens for the final out. Not before Poly, adds one more. They take a 4-0 advantage. We head to the top half of the 5th when we return. So we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Megan Overholzer to lead things off here for the Terriers, still in search of their first hit. Critelli, 7 strikeouts now through 4 innings. Nearly stuck to her season average of almost 2 strikeouts per inning. Run her total to 195 now on the season, as the first pitch is going to be swung through and missed.
As a team, this is a Wildcats team posting almost 9 strikeouts per 7. 8.88 in that official figure. 241 to just 21 walks.
That one's going to be taken for a called strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Critelli. So Overholzer down in the count here, 0-2. We'll see if Critelli elects to challenge her here or waste an offering. Winds and delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, 8th punch out of the day. So that will bring up the designated player, Jenny Witten. Witten 0 for 1. So Critelli made short work of the middle of the Terriers' order. 6 strikeouts between the 2, 3, 4 batters. Winds and delivers, swung on and missed. Witten, one of only 4 batters today not to be sent down via the punch-out.
Pickering back in the fourth. That was the only ball sent to the field of play by the top 4 hitters.
As that one's going to miss. Count even now 1-1.
So just the 7 strikeouts through the top 4 batters.
Emily Rock due up next. Swung through and missed, strike 2. Let's see if she elects to go back to the rise ball here. Maybe trying to get Witten be a little aggressive, chasing outside the zone. Taking strike 3. 9th punch out now for the senior, as she's retired the first 2 of the inning. So that will bring up the freshman Emily Rock. Went down via the punch out back in the 2nd inning. So she steps in now to face Critelli for the 2nd time today. Winds and swung on and missed. As we've talked about several times, Critelli really does a good job getting ahead in the count. Doesn't waste a lot of pitches. A lot of wasted effort out, not a lot of wasted effort out there, I should say.
Yeah, and she doesn't really need to when you're getting on top of batters like this. And you look at the numbers, there's only 1 backwards K out of those 8. So she's getting just the swings and misses. She doesn't need to waste a pitch most of the time in order to get that swing and a miss. She just gets it.
As that one misses down in the zone, evens the count here at 1-1. As that one's up above the belt, 2-1. 42 walks on the year. Hasn't allowed a walk today, though. So if you're SUNY Poly, especially Coach Julia Wanner, that's what you want to see out of the senior. Attacking hitters, getting ahead in the count, as that one swung through and missed. Evens the count here at 2-2. Critelli will wipe off the rubber. Looks down for the sign, winds and delivers. 2-2 offering, taken on the inside part of the plate. Looked like it might have been below the knees. Looked like the home crowd over here for SUNY Poly wanted the call, but it's going to push the count now to full 3-2. Three-two swung on and missed. Critelli, 2nd time she set the Terriers down in order via the punch out. Poly will maintain a 4-0 advantage. They'll bat here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. DeSena, Childers, and Powell expected to bat for the Wildcats when we return. And welcome back. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. We'll have a new pitcher in the circle here, the designated player, Jenny Witten. She'll slide into the pitching role. Comes in 3-8 on the year, 24 Ks in 42 innings pitched to 5.33 earned run average. So she will have to face DeSena to begin things here in the bottom half of the fifth. DeSena 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, the numbers definitely favor the Wildcats in this matchup. Opponents hitting 308 off of the right-hander. See how she tries to navigate through this bottom half of the order, and that's still very dangerous.
Freshman winds and delivers, misses inside. Probably trying to mix things up for the Wildcats. They've scored 4 runs in the last 2 innings. As that one misses up and out of the zone, 2-0 here. And as we mentioned last half inning, DeSena, Childers, and Powell expected to bat here for the Wildcats. 1 for 6 on the day between the three as this one's hit out to center field. Verone calls that one off for the first out. Pretty much automatic out there in center field with Abby Verone, sophomore out of Sandown, New Hampshire. So Jaden Childers will step in 0 for 2 on the day. She'll face Witten for the first time. Winds and delivers, taken for a call strike at the knees. So 0-1 offering here. Ripped out into left field. That will land just at the edge of the infield grass. So 1 out single there from Childers. Brings up Kelly Powell 0 for 2 on the afternoon. First hit of the day for Childers. Poly looking to add a run here for their 3rd consecutive inning. Runner on with 1 out here in the inning. 7 hits on the day. That one misses up in the zone. Throw's going to get away out into right field, but Federico's there. No advance. So Poly electing, looked like to play small ball there as Powell had squared around to bunt. 266 average coming into today.
Yeah, even with the way Critelli is pitching, it's still playoffs. It's still...
As that one's going to be popped up into territory, bunts down. Good play, though, there by the pitcher. Witten fires on to Knight for the second out, as you were saying, Zethan.
Yeah, I mean, it's playoffs. It's the tournament. You don't want to leave any runs off the board. You want to score them as much as possible. Even with how Critelli is pitching, that you can't take that for granted, especially with the way that this offense for the Terriers can explode for a big number.
So Caitlin Finley steps in for her 3rd at bat. First pitch misses up and out of the zone. 0 for 2 with a run scored. Two outs now here in the inning. Runner on second. Taken for a called strike, 1-1. So Poly looking for a little 2-out magic here. Runner in scoring position. Winds and delivers. Changeup just up above the belt when it crossed the plate. Runs the count 2-1. Looks good where the catcher catches it, but up above the belt. As that one's going to be swung on, hit out to Ferrone in center. She has to twist around several times, but gets back for the catch. As we mentioned, almost automatic out there in center field. Not an easy play with a ball going straight back over your head. Got a little tangled with the feet, but able to squeeze it for the second out. So Thomas holds Poly in check. Poly able to put a runner on. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Wildcats leading the Terriers 4-0 when we return. So the catcher, Kayla Duhamey, to lead things off here for the Terriers in the top half of the 6th. Critelli back out for her 6th inning of work. 10 punch-outs on the day. So Critelli will wind and deliver. Runs up and out of the zone. They're going to appeal down to first. And no check swing on the play. Bunt attempt gets down, fire from the third baseman, but Duhamey's gonna reach with the leadoff bunt single. So first hit of the day for the Terriers.
Well, that's a way to break it up. We were potentially looking at perfection there as well. It was the first 15 set down in order by Critelli. So Duhamey breaks it up, takes away the perfect game and the no-hitter, all in one.
So the delivery here, bunt up the first baseline. Good job there by Hunter, excuse me. Field that fire onto the second baseman. Birmingham for the first out. Sacrifice bunt though there. So that will bring up the center fielder, Abby Ferrone.
Now this kind of situation with Ferrone, runner in scoring position for the first time today now, and an opportunity to put some runs on the board. You don't want to get too aggressive too early though.
As the first pitch is going to be taken down in the zone for a ball. Poly electing to play the infield corners in here, expecting a bunt from Ferrone. Hunter at the end of the pitch is almost even down the first baseline with the pitcher. Bunted, popped up behind the plate, but that's going to get down for a strike. So Ferrone able to hang tough there. Nearly could have ended bad for the Terriers. Popping up a bunt could have been the second out of the inning.
It's kind of a bad break that it feels like you can't come back from should that have been caught.
So 1-1 offering here from the senior Critelli. Line swung through and missed from Ferrone. Down on the count now, 1-2. So big pitch here for Critelli. Finds herself with a runner on second, 1 out. Scoring opportunity for the Terriers. Winds and delivers. Taken off the outside corner, just missed. Strike 3 there. Looks like she wanted that one. Home plate umpire disagreeing. He was the count at 2-2.
Yeah, it was a great pitch. Really kind of a 50-50 call. Could have gone either way. This one goes the way of the Terriers.
Looked like Childers had to reach out across her body to grab that one. So hard call to give for a home plate umpire. And that one's going to be popped up. Left side of the infield, called off by the shortstop, the center, for the second out. So we'll head back to the top of the order. Layla Pickering will step in. She lined out to center field last time up. 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
Yeah, she gave that one a good ride, too. Got a hold of it, and it almost got out of the reach of the center fielder in Turk at the time.
Good play out there in center field by Turk. Was able to run that down, as that one's going to be taken for a ball off the corner. So one of the rare situations where Critelli hasn't gotten ahead. First pitch.
I believe just the second time today.
So 1-0 offering on the way. Swung on, fouled back over behind the first base dugout. Evens the count 1-1. Knight in the on-deck circle. if Pickering can extend the inning here with 2 outs. 1-1 offering here. Up in the zone, check, swing. They're going to say she did offer. So 1-2 now here to the freshman Pickering. Winds and delivers, crushed out to left field, but right to the left fielder, Ava Varagan, for the 3rd out. Looked like it was going to have a chance when it left the bat. Held up a little too long. Great routine fly ball to left field. Either way, we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Thomas trailing Poly 4-0 when we return. So we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. First baseman Taylor Hunter at the plate. She'll step in to face Witten out for her 2nd inning of work. Poly trying to add to its 4-0 advantage here. Winds and delivers. Taken for a call strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, if I'm Poly, I'm still not as comfortable with this lead that I'm working with, a 4-run lead. The Terriers able to get on the base pass for the first time in that last half of the inning, and then able to make a couple of hard contacts just right at fielders. So get a little bit luckier, and that's a run or 2 or 3 for the Terriers.
That's going to be taken for a called strike. Hunter down on the count now here, 0-2. Winds and delivers, swung on, hit out to Rocket, shortstop from her knees, across the diamond, tag play from Oberholzer for the 1st out. Curious what happened there. Looked like Turner accidentally hit her in the face. Hopefully she's okay. I think it was all unintentional there.
Yeah, you're getting down the line quickly. You don't expect the first baseman to pull off the bag, especially towards you. So in that kind of situation, you throw your hands up defensively as you're trying to run, and then you just kind of make incidental contact. And that looks like that's what happened.
Hard to tell from our vantage point, but hopefully she's okay. Looks like she's holding her head. Coach Jen Plord out there checking on her first baseman.
It's one of those ones
like she's going to stay in the game.
It'll ring your bell. You just kind of need a moment. You know, at the end of the day, you'll be fine, especially taking off the mask. I'm sure that helps quite a bit, too, at least spread out the impact.
So that brings us back to the top of the lineup. Ava Varagon, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch down in the zone, ball 1. Stands have kind of cleaned out since the Eagles played back in game 3. Few fans, about 10 to 15 per team out here in the bleachers. This was going to be popped up over into the bleachers here down the right field line.
It hasn't been the most fun day to stick around and watch some softball. A little bit chilly.
Chilly afternoon here from Bangor, Maine. Weird weather for what we've had most of the week in the mid-60s, 70s. 0-1 offering on its way. Changeup. Misses up in the zone above the belt.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get the same nice weather we got last year with the North Atlantic Conference baseball tournament, but looks to be a little bit more overcast and dreary.
So Witten winds 1-1 offering. Rise ball up and out of the zone, 2-1. Not a lot of changeups getting called for strikes today. Point of emphasis probably from the umpires that got to cross in the strike zone, not where it's caught. As that one's going to miss up and out of the zone. Looked like the scoreboard was wrong. That was the fourth ball of the at-bat. So that brings up Olivia Turk, 1 for 3 with an RBI. She supplied the run back in the fourth inning to extend the lead to 4-0. Steps in here now to face Witten for the first time. Swung on, hit out to center field. That one's going to go back at the wall and gone. 2-run shot there from Turk, her first of the season. RBIs, 27 and 28, 6-0. SUNY Poly.
That makes you feel a little bit better. Turk giving it a ride out towards center, and it looked like initially that Ferrone would have a shot at robbing that right at the fence, but couldn't quite get the glove over. And 2-run shot makes it 6-0. It's more comfortable lead to work with, especially for Critelli, heading back out there, I would assume, for the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, originally when that came off the bat, I thought Ferrone might have had a shot that maybe it was going to be on the inside of the fence. You could tell that it started to carry, but she elected not to try to jump up and rob that one. So that brings up Birmingham now. Takes a first pitch, call and strike. Birmingham 2 for 2, 3 RBIs and a walk on the day. Extended her league leading average, 571, probably now up into the 580s. Taken off the outside corner, 1-1.
One of the most common phrases in the sports world is video game numbers. And, well, I mean, that's a pretty good example of it.
As that one's going to be lined out to Rocket. Shortstop fires across for the second out. So first time they've been able to retire Birmingham. So that will bring up Joy Stevens now. She'll step in 1 for 3 on the day. We go back to the home run from Turk. As they'd say in MLB The Show, that was a perfect.
It's a great reference.
Just to the left side of the center field flagpole, as that one was taken for a called strike.
Getting in all the video game references in this one.
So 0-1 delivery here from Witten. Changeup, popped up right side of the infield, dropped by Knight, but she'll shuffle it on for the third out to Oberholzer. That will retire the Wildcats, but not before SUNY Poly adds 2 runs. They extend their lead. To 6-0. We head to the top half of the 7th inning. Thomas down to its final 3 outs here when we return. So into the top half of the 7th inning. 2-3-4 expected to bat for the Terriers. Second baseman Leah Knight to lead things off here. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. As we mentioned, 2-3-4, 0 for 6 with 6 punch-outs combined. We'll see. Coach Plord elects to stick with the meat of the order, or maybe makes a pinch hitting substitution here. Looks like Rock has stepped up into the on-deck circle. So Critelli here needs 3 outs to pick up the win. Bunt attempt there from Knight, fouled off down the first baseline. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, winner of this game advances to play the number 1 seeded Eagles tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Could be a pitcher showdown. Critelli versus Anna Lang, 2 of the top pitchers in the Northeast right now. As that one misses down in the zone, 1-1. Further that, 2 of the pitchers of the year candidates in the North Atlantic Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, right now that's the bill that we're headed towards, and I think that would be a fantastic game to watch. I know I'll get to be able to call that, and that's really exciting to me. I love great pitching matchups where you don't know when that offense is going to come into play or how much, really, for both teams. And for Anna Lang being able to work through this tough lineup would be huge, especially heading into a potential championship game.
As that one's fouled off down the left field line. Looks like it hit just off the top of the fence and landed out of play. So 1-2 here to the sophomore Knight. Just guessing, have to guess it will probably be Lang tomorrow, not Masterson. Probably look to give maybe her a game rest. Potentially bring her back later that day. As that's going to be swung through and missed. 11th strikeout of the game. 199th on the season for Critelli. So that will bring up the shortstop, Maddie Rock. 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs.
Yeah, that 200 mark's one you want to reach for sure. And the way she's pitching, she's definitely going to do it, if not today, tomorrow.
Winds and delivers, swung on and missed. Rock struggled a little bit at the plate here in this one after looking really, really good in game 1. Like Critelli's had her fooled a little bit today. As that one's going to be popped up back behind the catcher. Catcher Childers dives for the second out. What a play there. The junior.
The concentration to get to that ball is unbelievable. You saw her just whip the mask off right away, make eye contact with the ball. She did not look away, did not spot the backstop, which, diving towards padded bricks, probably not a good idea to look towards.
Applaud the effort there by the junior, as Critelli did, as she came hustling in, hugging her teammate. Second out. Thomas down to its final out. Oberholzer at the plate, swings on and miss for the first pitch.
Critelli's had Oberholzer's number today. 2 strikeouts, both of them swinging. Trying to keep that trend going here.
So 0-1 offering on the way. Swung on, pop back, and out of play. So Thomas down on the count here, 0-2. We'll see if Critelli elects to waste one or comes at Oberholzer. If I had to guess, you're probably going to see a rise ball up around the belt, trying to get Oberholzer to swing through for the miss. 0-2 offering, swung on, ground ball out to the shortstop. DeSena fires on to Hunter for the third out. So SUNY Poly comes away with a 6-0 victory. They'll advance to face the Husson Eagles tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thomas will fall into the losers bracket. They'll be back in action in the morning.
I believe they come back right at 9 a.m., don't they?
Trying to remember if they're at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. I think they have the second game. So the loser of Game 4 will be in Game 6. They will have the second game tomorrow, the 11 a.m. game. 5 tomorrow will be Farmington. Game 5, first game of the day, will be Farmington versus SUNY Morrisville. And you'll have SUNY Cobleskill taking on Thomas College in Game 6. Game 7 will be the Eagles versus SUNY Poly.
There's that 1-2 matchup that we always like as probably the best game of the tournament. And right now, looking like a pitching duel. Should be very entertaining to watch.
So that will conclude things here on the opening day of the North Atlantic Conference Softball Championship. Ethan, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, broadcasting with me here in the second game. Always a joy. We'll be back in action tomorrow. 5 games, busiest of the day, or busiest day of the tournament. I'm sure you'll be on 2 or 3 of those calls. So signing off here from O'Keefe Field. Your Game 4 final, SUNY Poly 6-0 over Thomas College. Back in action tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Until then, check out all the latest features and news at HussonEagles.com. Thank you, Ethan, and good night, everybody.